This is a continuation of the lesson starting point. So the idea is to use Red Garland's left-hand comping to help generate a feel for swing. And the cool thing is that if you're in the middle of playing and you get this left hand thing accurate with a rhythm section, it enables you to play long notes in the right hand and not generate all the time from the right hand. So for example, you can do things like this. Where there's a lot of space. Now I'm doing it really slow so you can hear the accuracy or inaccuracy of what I'm doing. The big deal is that to maintain this left hand upbeat after, upbeat before 1 and upbeat before 3, you need to start with a little routine to practice it. And I've got a bit of a method to do this. The first step is to play octaves. Let's say we're playing a blues in F or just an F7th chord. Here's my voicing. There's the root. Right hand, I'm going to play it, I don't know, here. And I'm going to put the metronome on. And I'm going to hear in my mind, ding, 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 ding. Now that's the ride cymbal rhythm. And when I play this little exercise, the right hand is playing essentially the ride cymbal quarter notes. The pinky is standing in for beat 2, which is the backbeat, and beat 4. And the left hand is playing the guzz. Now, instead of reading it and trying to figure out, an upbeat before, so really essentially playing the left hand upbeat before the thumb every time. So here's the basic starting point. Before I move on, I have to have this pretty rock solid accurate. So I'm really listening to the metronome here to see if it's relaxed and I'm relaxed and I'm finding this top F splitting the metronome. So this is already more difficult than it looks. Now I say ding, 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 ding. So that was a chorus of blues trying to be pretty accurate, like a machine. Actually, it's surprising how the more accurate you get, the more it feels loose. And what I'm trying to do in that exercise also is have this feeling of round movements, especially the left hand. If you'll notice, I'm going, I'm not just pecking away at the left hand. I'll do it kind of awkwardly on purpose here. Watch this. See, when I stab at it, it just doesn't work. So what you're feeling here, just to get this upbeat placed right, is 1, 2, up. So I'm actually touching the piano on beat 2 and bouncing off on the upbeat 1, 2, up. So it sounds like this on the, if I was really making a sound, 1. And every time I do that, I'm splitting the metronome with my fingers on the piano, but I'm not actually making a sound. It helps me measure the distance. 1. So that's like a kind of physical trick that I've learned over the years. This was not conscious that I learned how to do this. It just, I kind of looked at it and went, what the hell am I doing there? And there it is. Now the next step is I was just changing notes. So you could like practice anything, blues scale, long half notes. The big deal is that to maintain this left hand with everything going on in the right is difficult. So what I figured out is to practice, instead of trying to play everything you're going to play the rest of your life and not distract the left hand, all you have to do is actually figure out what makes your left hand get messed up. And that is stopping the right hand. So for example, if I play this and learn how to do it, it's pretty easy. Once I get it, but this is hard. So I started thinking, what would be a good way to practice the space? And it's easy. All you have to do is play the end of every line that you'll ever play the rest of your life. Now, there are only pretty much eight places, if you're playing eighth notes in a bar of music, that you're going to end any number of lines on. One is, and typically in bebop, you're going to end on an upbeat. You can also end on downbeats. You can practice that. So I'll demonstrate the next step to mastering the left hand, which is changing the right hand. That's how you distract. So here's how it goes. I'm going to be playing the octaves first, and then I'll just play 2 eighth notes on beat 1 for like 4 measures or till I get it right. And then I'll keep the left hand going through all of this stuff. Anytime I get off the rails, I go back to the octave. Then I'll play 2 eighth notes on beat 2 and 2 bars of rest, or a bar of rest, I should say. Then I'll play it on 3 and 4. And then I'll try upbeat, downbeat, meaning a 1. So that's 8 different things. I'm going to try and do it without talking. So here's the basic. Now, here's the downbeat, upbeat. On 2. On 3. Here it comes. On 4. On 1. On 2. That's hard. So what's going on here is I'm using the right hand to see if my left hand can maintain this pulse of the simple ga of the upbeat, ding, 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 and have the right hand do anything and not mess this left hand up. Now that means that if I'm playing lines here and I ever feel that I'm going off the rails, if I just stop the line before my last rhythmic mistake and comp, and the comp is actually perfect, then the listener will hear perfect time, because I will have edited my fumbling around in the right hand and taken the mistake out before I make it. Now that's the way it sounds to me when guys are playing piano and it sounds hot. So the other thing is this upbeat in the left hand helps your right hand find how to play quarter notes in the swing feel. on the damper. So that's a half note, which is exactly, hopefully, 5/3 of a beat long. Oh, sorry, 5/3. Yes, a beat and 2/3. The idea is to be able to play any. Now, the next step would be to practice the other landing points, which would be downbeats. So here I go. 2, 3, 4. I'll start like this again. Always start with something that you can do well to get yourself in the groove. And now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 2. 2, 3, 4. See, it's screwed my right hand, left hand up. So I have to practice that some more. This is good because when I mess it up, you get to see how easy it is to get off the rails. Now, just being able to do that, there are plenty of other places to comp. So if I was playing this, and this is the left hand's always playing an upbeat before 1 and 3, and occasionally I play a downbeat, all I end up is with a perfectly good comping figure called a Charleston, which is this